Right. Good Monday morning, everyone. Man, I don't know what is in the air or what has come in the air, but it's definitely flu and cold season. I'm definitely feeling it. Fern is not with us today on Author Talk because she is feeling it. So you just had the lovely me and Russell here, but it's always a good time. I am suffering somewhat from like a cold flu thing. I don't know what it is. Russell, how are you feeling? Are you have any of the sniffles or anything, or are you
This
good?
was the happiest weekend I've had in 2 or 3 years.
Oh, wow.
I've just been on a roll, and I've been very happy because I got great news on Friday, and uh, I spent the weekend at a place that was completely the opposite of all of my nature, everything that I am, and what defines me. Uh, I was at a monastery for the weekend for the silent weekend, where I wasn't allowed to talk the whole weekend. So
Oh,
I wasn't even sure if they were going to let me stay.
how did that go? You
I
on a
loved
silent
it.
weekend? Nice.
I loved it because the weekend, uh, I got news. I've had some actual, believe it or not, I run 3 miles a day and I have heart trouble. I don't know how that happens. But uh, up until Friday, they were talking about doing some pretty serious stuff to me in January. Then I got the test results from Friday, and the doctor said, "Oh, never mind all that. We'll see you in 6 months on the checkup. You're doing great," which
Oh,
is
good.
spectacular news. And then, and this has been a gun to my head for 9 months, so I'm nothing but happy.
I love it.
So
What
I
good news.
spent the
Friday was a good
weekend
day.
I spent the weekend in silence at the monastery, being happy with myself. And I
Yeah.
was
Was it hard
hiking
to
and
be silent though? I
no,
feel like
because I
that would
was,
be challenging.
and you understand this because your husband is like me. I was
Yeah.
hiking in the woods of the hills of Georgia, is what I did. And that just consumes all your good energy in a good way.
Yeah. I could see that. Me and him are trying to do, if I can, get over whatever my kids have given me, do like a quick backpacking trip in Georgetown this weekend,
Oh,
before we head home as
this
a
is as a
practice.
practice, so you know
Yes.
what you're lacking before you do the big hike in Kauai,
Pretty much,
right?
so I know what I'm lacking. Yes. I did get my
Did,
backpacking backpack though. I did get it. It's nice and purple and pretty. So
okay, you
I'll be
need to fit it right. You need to make sure it's
yeah.
fit right so it doesn't rub on your back. That's
Yeah, no,
very important.
that doesn't sound appealing. I'll have to do that. I don't want it to rub on my back.
Right,
Mm-mm.
and because it gets sore. So make sure it's fitted right. Have you got your new hiking boots yet?
No, I'm supposed to get them this week. It's all
Right?
on my
Because you don't want to get them right before. And if you get them this week and you're going to go hiking in a week or two, if you this flu that you have doesn't stop you from it,
Yes.
you need to wear them several days before you go on the hike. And you
Mm-hmm.
need to get tall socks. You have expensive, you know,
I have those wool
Josh
socks.
doesn't buy you great.
I have them. I have
Wear
them.
them, even if it's when I hiked the Mojave Desert in August. I used those wool socks with my hiking boots, and they were perfect.
See, okay. For me, I don't know. Fashion and stuff goes out the window. I don't want to cut my heels or anything like that. So that's why I had to have the good socks and I need good shoes. And my backpack, Josh evidently is jealous of my backpack because he's trying to jack my backpack.
Okay,
He's big.
let me give you another dirty trick to do.
Okay.
Make Josh carry, take extra water, and make Josh carry your extra water
Oh, yeah, for
because
sure.
water's heavy, so Josh should carry it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's going to pull the brunt of it, especially with me getting over being sick. So we'll
Take
see if
some.
it even happens. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. How
Oh, I
was
know.
your
Hopefully, I'll have photos. I'll have photos and everything. So I probably won't be on next week's author talk. The week of Thanksgiving, because I'm going to be out backpacking. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how this goes, Russell. I'm nervous about it. Just saying. Tad bit
Well,
nervous.
just remember this is a practice exercise so you can learn what you need to do to get ready for the big one.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all it is.
Yeah, at least it won't be hot. It'll be nice and cool, so that'll be good.
Right.
We're not going to die in the heat. That's for sure.
Take a hat and put sunscreen your face, even if it's cloudy.
Oh, yes. I don't. I can't. That's my moneymaker, Russell. I can't burn it. I have to have sunscreen on it.
Not my money.
I'm just joking. But no, I still have to go and do all of that. I'm telling you, Russell, last week was the holy grail of author talk shorts. So I think there were 20 done last week. And I was at my mom's, right? And every time I go to do a 12-day page turner, Russell, something happens. So last year during the 12 days, I got laryngitis and it was really hard to talk for 12 days, but I did it. This year, I'm doing the Author Talk Shorts. It's my biggest week for Author Talk Shorts, right? What happens? I get like the flu or the cold at my mom's. So big shout out to Mr. Greg Kelso because he did help me on Thursday cover a bunch of Author Talk Shorts so I could rest up and get back in a somewhat healthy stance. So he did help me. But Russell, the 12 Days of Page Turners is lined up. It's going to be a pretty great night every night for 12 days. We have some pretty awesome authors, including you, Russell. You're going to be on the 8th. I'm so excited. But we are in full-on 12 Days of Page Turner mode, Russell. I mean, we're doing over 60 authors this year. So we have some more author talk shorts coming this week, and then it's going to kind of cool down for Thanksgiving, and then it's just full on after Thanksgiving. We are going to stack it until we hit the 12 days on December 1st.
Well, Greg helped you some last week, didn't he?
He did. He helped me on Thursday, and then I had a couple that were stacked, 3 or 4 on top of each other. So he helped me kind of disperse those and get everybody covered. So it's been really nice. When I got sick, Greg, kicked in and helped me on those, which was a wonderful thing. And so shout out to Mr. Kelso for helping a sick sister out, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. It drains me or something. I don't know.
So Amy, the people that listen to us on our podcast, we thank them for that. We're like top 10 in America on independent book podcasts. And they may not know what you're talking about when you say the 12 days. Why don't you explain a little bit of what you're talking about?
Yeah, so the 12 days is the 12 Days of Page Turners, which was started by Sandy Lawrence. Used to be the 12 Days of Giving, which was a free-for-all. You could come on the first 12 days of December, talk about any holiday promotion you were offering this holiday season. So when I decided to take it over, we have structured it where it is the first 12 days, the 1st through the 11th. Every night at 7 p.m. Central, you have new authors every night, different genres, never the same genre or anything like that, repeating. And they come and talk to you guys about their specials that they're offering for the holidays. And they are all authors or work in some realm in the writing community. Last year, we had 52 authors. This year, we have 66. So a wide array of authors and books that you can choose from. And the only thing is they have to offer a holiday promotion for their book. So an ebook, a physical book, a signed book, anything like that, they're going to be running specials. So Russell, I'm a huge advocate for the best book. The best gift to give someone this season is a book. And so this is our way of giving back, letting authors have access to all of our audiences and connections and resources and network with each other while helping them get hopefully last minute sales for the end of the year. So that's kind of how the 12 Days of Page Turners works and what it is. You're muted.
So I'm on the 8th. And so if I want to do a promotion, if I want my promotion to be autographed books,
Yeah.
During the show, would I just tell them how to contact me and I'll send them an autographed book?
Yep. So if your promotion is you're giving a discount on physical books and you autograph it for free or anything like that, then wherever you have that, whether it's on your website or they email you or whatever, however they need to get in touch with you, I will have, and I will reiterate that in the comment section, all the promotional material and everything like that that goes off. So we usually go live on my Facebook, my LinkedIn, and either my YouTube channel or on Sandy's LinkedIn. So that way you get the full bandwidth of all of mine and Sandy's connections and resources together to help benefit you. So it gets dispersed onto all of those. We also give you the recording afterwards for you to do whatever you want because it's your content, it's your book. We just want to give you guys access to our networks and stuff to help you guys through the end of the year.
Okay, who is one of your authors on the first night that people might like to see or listen to?
Oh, yeah. So we have several on the first night. I mean, there's Roxanne Charles, Roger Leslie, David Baylog. They've all been on the show. They're going to be on the first. Dr. Warnert also is going to be there. You know, him and his 6-month honeymoon, which was a pretty awesome story. So he's going to be on the first. The second is near and dear Valerie Sweden. She has the donut tree. She just had.
I love Valerie Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. Amazing. She writes articles for the newspapers too.
She does. She's amazing. Her donut tree's out. She has a new one that is doing with the rainforest, I believe. One of her new books that just came out. So she's going to be talking to us about that one. On the third, we have Joanna Vander Vloot, and she's really cool. So she does motorcycle drawings and illustrations, and she has incorporated some of her drawings into her books, which are immaculate. She showed me some of her paintings when we did an author talk short this past week, and they looked like photographs. They were amazing. So definitely you will be able to see some of her art also on the third coming in, which is a lot of fun. And who doesn't love David Bowles, who is like the greatest storyteller of all time? So he's coming up on the 4th. Russell's on the 8th. Russell, you're going to be there this year. It's gonna be good. We have Julie Connor, you guys all know, is on the 5th. She's one of the ones on the 5th. The 6th, we have Anne Scotland, Red O'Laughlin, JP McLean. So it's gonna be.
You have read that day.
I do. Yeah, I have read that day. Red's on the 6th, and the 7th is Jalen from Inklings, Jerry Roth, Dortha Hayes is gonna be on. On the 8th is Russell. Brad Anderson. Me and Brad Anderson had a wonderful conversation last week. Russell, you should watch it. It was all just on like sci-fi, but world building and everything that goes into it. He's also a professor where he lives at one of the universities. So it was a fabulous conversation. I can't wait to dive in deeper. We have Sharon Jenkins on the 9th. She's going to be great. Our own Fern Brady is on the 10th. And coming in, and then we have Diane Boehm, Artemis Greenleaf, Mark Everglades coming in. They're closing us off on the 11th. And then the 12th is a free-for-all where all authors can come. We'll be live for however long it takes, and they can come and re-talk about their promotion and just kind of get last-minute attention and everything towards that on the 12th. So it's going to be busy but fun.
You know, last year when this was over, you said you would never do this again because you were so exhausted when it was over, you could barely talk.
Yeah.
Remember, that's when I started making fun of you because you sounded like a little boy. You can only talk like this.
Hey, you know what? It's getting to that point now. I'm doing good that I haven't, I can mute myself now when I need to cough. So I'm doing good at the moment, Russell. Doing good. But hopefully that won't happen this year. It was extremely difficult because that happened on like day 2 and I still had like 8 days to go.
I know. And then the rest of the week, you talk like this week. It was so funny.
Russell, it was not. He means that with terms of endearment. I know it.
Okay. I got to ask you a couple of questions.
Go for it.
Tell us, do you have any funny stories about when you first got in this business?
Yes, the first time I ever met Sandy.
So tell us about that.
First time I ever met Sandy in person. I'd only talked to her over the phone, so I had no idea. And I met her in person, and I met her with Mano. First time I've ever met in person. I think Valerie Sweden was there and Kathy Horizon, I think. First time I've ever met these people. We were at the Olive Garden. I drove like almost 2 hours to get there over this tall bridge, right? And heights aren't my thing. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking with Sandy, and it was just like, she'd always met me and everything. And then Mano comes and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're shorter in person, but you're much prettier. You're much prettier in person, but you're shorter." That was like the first time I've ever met them or anything. And Sandy's like, "Oh, I know, she's cute as a little button." So I couldn't help it. I just felt like I'd met them the whole time. But that was my first encounter with Sandy and Mano. And Mano, I love Mano dearly. So it was just like, I don't know, I kind of got thrown in there. It was fun though. I liked it.
And Sandy she has never met, and everyone that's watched this channel for a while, Sandy's one of our main, she helped start this show. And when she retired, she's our substitute when one of us can't make it. So everyone here knows Sandy.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing about Sandy is there's a couple of things. Number one is she's never met anyone she hasn't known all her life. Everyone she meets, the second she meets them, it's the greatest thing she's ever met, right? Did
Yeah.
we freeze? I thought we might have froze for a second.
No, you're good. I got you.
And the second thing is Sandy loves to talk.
I loved it though.
Oh.
I loved it though, because my first time it was like, it was like we had met each other before. And then Mano just comes like out of nowhere. And Mano's so honest. And I love it. And she was just like, "Oh, you're shorter in person." Oh man.
Well, at least she said you were prettier in person. What does that mean does that mean you don't look as good on the show?
I don't know. I'll take it. I'll take it though. I'm prettier in person. Okay, I'll take it. It's a facade. No, that was like the first time, but that one was so much fun. And then it was just the more like me and Sandy would talk and stuff, the more that it evolved into what it was. When she started using teamwork, and then she wanted help with that, and then I just sat at home, so I had time to figure it out and everything. But yeah, that was my first time meeting Sandy. I didn't meet her until I moved to Houston. And I think I had been there like 6 months before I met her in person.
So then you wound up, how did you wind up taking over the business?
Oh, man. Yeah.
The business of promoting authors.
Well, so Sandy had called me one day. Well, she had texted me and said, "Hey, give me a call when you can. I want to, I don't know, run something by me," or something like that. So I thought we were talking about one of the clients that we had together, ideas, or, just event session. Sometimes we need those. She was like, "Well, I'm going to retire at the end of the year." And I was like, "Okay, why are you doing that, Sandy? It's okay." And she was like, "And I want you to take it over." And she had told me back in, this was in like October before her birthday, when she had told me, I guess 2 years ago. And she was like, "As long as you want to take it over, like I want you to take it over. I'll be here to help you and mentor you and stuff. But I really just want to retire and, do something different." So it was like from that October, I guess we just started meeting individually with everybody that we worked with and letting them know what was going on. If they wanted to stay or go, this was their time to do that, their opportunity, and different plans and stuff that I had, and transition, and what that would look like and everything. And then it was, she went full blown into retirement. She's traveling, doing what she wants to do and stuff. But yeah, it was just a conversation out of the blue. I didn't think I was going to get it. I thought she was talking to me about a client, and then that's where the conversation went. So I didn't see it coming at all.
So tell us about what you actually do on these launches, what you actually do, which are book launches.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about 2 or 3 of your really, really great successes.
Oh yeah. So I had a book hit number 1 in all of their categories before noon on their launch day. This was right after I had taken over for Sandy. So it was my first like solo one. And I had learned about the promo stacking, the promo stacking and everything like that. And so I went number one before noon. And then it got all the way up to like number 9 or number 10 in the overall Kindle store. So that was really cool. Let's see. Another one was the one here most recently. Their paperback book hit number 44 in all their category, which was really cool. I've never had it on like a physical book. And then their Kindle book made it number 1 in new releases for all of their categories. So that one was recently where the paperback started trending too. That one was like pretty cool. But then I hit my first bestseller ribbon this year. And that one.
So what is a bestseller ribbon?
So the bestseller ribbon is like when you're on Amazon and it'll say like number 1 new releases, number 1 bestseller, which is like number 1 in all your categories. It's number 1 in the Kindle store, all of that. So you strive to have like that ribbon, and then you can have, it just classifies you as a bestseller. So then you can use that, leverage it. You have documentation of it, but it's the ribbon that pops up underneath your name or your book title on Amazon.
And that's pretty important. I hope for my next book that I'm able to get a ribbon.
Right? So do I.
Want a ribbon.
So do I. I want a ribbon too, right? It's important if you're trying to like move up in your rankings, you want to have that bestseller label, all of that, then it's important. It really depends on what your goals are with your book. Like if some, they write the book, they just want the book out for family and friends to keep their legacy going, their stories going. They don't really, ranking doesn't really matter. So a bestseller ribbon doesn't really matter. Whereas, if you're trying to move up in the rankings, have that bestseller to associate with your name to kind of help you stand apart. The more that you write, then the bestseller ribbon's important. I just like shiny things. Like if you hold it in front of me, I'm going to want it. So that's why.
So, what are some of the crazy things that's happened with some of your clients without names?
Crazy.
Can you tell any of the crazy things? Will you?
Will I tell any of the crazy things? I've had,
By the way, to the audience, I've surprised her with this question. She did not expect this question.
Russell, you always surprise me. I don't know if they're like crazy things. I've had promotions couldn't run. I've gotten kicked off of lists because the Amazon didn't change the pricing of their book. So it's burned some bridges for me in terms of promotion sites. I've had that. I've had it where it wasn't even ready to upload on launch day. And you're like, what? Like all my promotions went to race that day. But I haven't had anything like super crazy happen. Not with a client. I had a writer go off on me. A freelance writer went off on me in a series of emails. That's the highlight of my year, I guess. I haven't had crazy.
So I know when my first launch came out, we had some crazy things happen because Sandy thought that I had lost my mind. Because she was like, we're going to sell the book for this. We're going to sell the book for that. And I was like, no, we're going to give it away. She's like, what? You can't give it away? Said, yeah, we're just going to give it away. And she was crazy. But she thinking that she thought I was crazy.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. Her and Minot came down because you had a book launch in-person event. Her and Minot went down and were hanging out. And because I heard about it afterwards, and Sandy was like, can you believe he just wanted to give his books away and whatever? Because you also had cookies or whatever that were made too. And she would talk about
they were cookies that had I forgot. I think they had the cover of the book in edible icing form on the cookies.
Yeah.
And I told her that we could sell the cookies, but I wanted to give the books away.
Yeah, that's what she said. Like you have to do the bundle or something, get a
Right.
free cookie, and you're like, no, they can get a free book. That's what you said. Yeah,
Right.
I
And we
remember.
gave away like 100 books that day. I thought
Yeah.
she was going to kill me.
You also had 10,000 downloads.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was happy.
So fair trade. It's a fair
Right.
trade.
And one of our Facebook promotion pictures wound up getting shared by people, and it was shared 11,000 times. I remember that. That was just crazy.
Yeah.
So that reminds me, there's one of your rules that you've learned and that I've adopted and decided I wanted to obey was the 8-to-1 rule. And about every 6 months, I get you to discuss the 8-to-1 rule. And this is one of the important parts of promotions, too.
Yeah.
Would you describe that?
Sure. The 80% shares and only, 20% or whatever is sell content. So, I mean, it's very much that. So, what we do is all of my shares and stuff for my content on all my pages is from my clients that I'm working with. I share all their content that we have posting. And very rarely do you see me post anything about Abundantly Social. I actually don't do that very often. I just post a lot of my client stuff. But building that relationship with your audience and everything where you're sharing information and content that they would also like to see that maybe you didn't provide, and 20% of content that you provided or buying your book or whatever. That way there's more there than just like a consumership, I guess, where instead of just, hey, buy my book, hey, buy my book, hey, buy my book, right? There's more of an interest there. So you want to maintain that. That's what the 80 rule is.
By the third post I get from one of my author friends to buy my book, I just shake my head. I can't read them anymore. And I know you, and you're my friend, but
I know.
On my pages, I share other people's books, interesting writing, traveling, whatever funny is going on, some of my Stoic philosophy readings that I do. I try to, I very, I guess my main self promotion is old pictures that people have sent me, my cover of the book with them on vacation somewhere in the world. I like.
Oh yeah, I remember that when that was like all like that was trending. You had people in Greece that were doing it because you were over there, and then in Spain.
No, I never went to Greece. It was other people with my book.
Oh, okay. I like it. Okay, that makes more sense now. But I remember when that whole thing happened because Sandy was just like, "Oh my gosh." She loved it. She still talks about your book launch and all that to this day.
Well, when you get 10,000 downloads, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. No, it was definitely a highlight. It was her favorite.
So we have got a couple of questions, Amy, that I would like you to answer because we have like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
And one of the questions we've actually had posted on our Facebook page, and by the way, everyone, if you listen to us either on the podcast or on our show and you're not a member of our Facebook page, you should come join us. You're welcome to join us. It turns out that all our past shows on their anniversary, Amy allows me to repost. So if you're an author and you were on the show 12 months ago, you're going to be on the page again. So you see all our past shows and you see what you're planning and what you're scheduling, and you get to see the shows live, which can be entertaining at times. But we've had some questions. From authors, how do I get on the show? Amy, how do they get on the show? If you don't die.
I know I'm not dying. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, it's like that sniffle season, okay? It's the sniffle season and my ears are clogged. So hopefully
I'm just grateful that you mute. Sometimes
I know. I get it.
I hate it when I always re-listen to the show afterwards to critique myself. I hate it when I don't mute when I'm coughing or something.
No, I know. I totally get it. So to share into the group, you guys can share anything about your books. If you have a book signing coming up, all of those things. The only thing that I do ask that you don't post in the group is highlighting you being on another show in our group. We will more than happy to promote your book signing that you're going to be at. If you have a new book, anything like that, but don't share into the group you being interviewed on someone else's show. That can come into our group, you guys. We love you dearly, but just don't share that. Anything else is a free for all.
I have one more thing. Don't send us your book promotion over and over and over. I hate that.
No. It only gets like in once. So if you send it on one day and again on the next, I'm only going to allow it in one time.
Okay.
Just saying.
But you do need that. But that was the question of how do you get on the author page? And my first question was, how do you get on Author Talk to be interviewed if you're an author? Because we've had several ask us about that.
That makes more sense. I was busy coughing my head off, Russell.
Yes.
So to get in or on the show, if you're watching us through the group or anything like that, send me a message or comment on one of the shows that you want to be on, and I will send you a message and get you booked to do that. You just have to send me a direct message or comment something on one of our posts in the group that you want to be on. I usually will see it. I get notified, and then we can book you and get you on. I tend to be pretty quick if I can catch it.
Now, I must warn the authors that want to do that sometimes she misses it, especially this time of year. So you might want to send it to her again if you haven't heard from her for a week or two.
Yeah. That's
just
very
that because some of my texts don't get responded to.
Okay, Russell, to be fair, I saw your text messages this morning, but you were going to be on. I figured we were going to talk about it when you got on. To be fair. Fine, I get it. But yes, repeat, send them to me. If I don't answer you back within the same day, send it to me again, because then it didn't get seen, to be fair.
So what do you have planned for your Abundantly Social for the next 12 months? What can you tell us about?
So Abundantly Social, besides co-owning Top Shelf Magazine with Creative Edge, Mickey Mickelson, we're also going to be launching a podcasting network in January. It's going to have about 30 shows on it. Author Talk will be on that network. And then on top of that.
So that's a pretty big deal. Tell us some more about that.
So me and Mickey haven't really talked a whole lot about it. But so we took over another podcasting network. And so we're going to be launching that in January. Project Entertainment Network is the one that we're going to be launching. That's going to have writing shows, everything to do with entertainment, all those kind of things you can find on that platform. So once I know exactly all the ins and outs and how it's going to function, I can tell you more, but it will be coming in January. So that's something to look forward to for that. And we're tapping into the virtual book market realm to see if there's a need, because maybe next year the 12 Days of Page Turners may be a 12-day online book market that highlights certain authors every night. We'll see. We're going to see how the book market goes. So,
what is the virtual book market? What is that?
So, like there's holiday craft fairs, holiday craft markets you can go to, and you can find anything to do with the holidays, homemade, anything like that. So what we're doing is just called Deck the Bookshelves, and it's an experiment to see if there's a need for it or anything like that. It's an online book market that is like Book Lovers Con that's in Houston. It's kind of like that, but online. So authors can come. There's a virtual booth, everything like that, and you can sell your books. You can do them at a discounted rate, anything like that, but it's like a one-stop destination where readers can come and they can have access to the author. They can talk to the author. find new genres, new authors, indie, self-published, traditional, however you published a book are welcome. But it's just a one-stop online destination to get a crowd full of authors together with readers, and the readers get access with them kind of one-on-one in their booth.
Well, how are you going to pull readers into that? What's your strategy on that?
Well, so right now I'm
'Cause that's
running.
the challenge.
I know. So right now I'm running Facebook and Google ads, and we are leveraging all of the authors' audiences and sharing that they're going to be a part of it. All of that on top of all of our other channels. I've reached out to like Lone Star Lit, and I've been in communications with them. So we're just right now it's more like word of mouth and just leveraging to see if there's a niche out there for it. So we're dabbling in waters.
The interesting thing about this, what you just said, is and you're doing this with the 12 days of Christmas shows
Right.
too, is you're using the synergy of all the authors' social media to promote each other. So
Yeah.
each author gets the benefit of all the other authors' social media abilities, right?
Yeah, so it's like that 80% rule, right? Is we're
Right.
sharing a bunch of people's contents and stuff like that and highlighting where they're going to be to see what evolves out of it. So it's a big experiment. We're going to see what happens. I like to see what happens.
Well, that's actually a lot. I can't believe that we didn't plan on asking that question at the very first.
Yeah.
That's a lot of big stuff. You have a big year ahead of you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. As soon as I can get, where I can breathe and I'm not hacking up a lung, then it'll be fun. But it's, the end of the year is always the busiest time of the year for me. So it'll be good.
When I practiced law, that was true too.
Really?
Yeah, because everyone if you represented someone in a lawsuit at the end of the year, they were hoping to get it tied up before the end of the year. If you represented someone in a divorce, they wanted to get the marriage over before they had to go through another holiday season with their soon-to-be spouse.
Okay.
If they had a criminal case, they were really hoping that they would get a resolution before the holiday season. So was a lot of reasons people were really pushing right this time of year to maybe get some kind of resolution. So
That's interesting.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I wouldn't have pegged that, but I guess with like the holiday season and stuff, I could see that. Like, I don't want to take you to family dinner. We're just waiting to be over. We're just done. Yeah. I could see it. Okay.
Because people were done.
Yeah. I get that too, though. Like, I get it.
So I got to tell you, I got to end with this. This is the last thing I got to end with.
Okay.
And we had a lot. This was probably our biggest year.
Yeah.
Our biggest year as Author Talk, because this is about this time last year, you got that first strange email that you ignored the first 2 or 3 times you got it. When we started moving up, you'd already put us on podcast channels for about 6 months or so. And then we just kind of moved on and didn't really worry about it. And then by this time last year, you started getting notices that we were moving up in the ratings.
Yeah.
And in about 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to have our 12-month anniversary of when you actually told everyone else that you were getting these emails. Russell, I ignored this, but Greg had promoted it, that he had got, and so you went back and looked and you said, oh my gosh, we're moving up in the ratings too. And we moved up until the top 10 over the next 4 or 5 months. That was the biggest thing that happened to this podcast this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to see those things. But yes, I do remember I was ignoring those emails.
Those first ones. Well, that's why it was funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
I tend to do that. I mean, it's a true statement. If I don't get the email more than once, then it's spam, So I didn't realize, oh my gosh, this year has just flown by. It's been
right. And this is the year that we've been lucky enough that you have started doing business with Mickey. So some of his spectacular authors have been on our show, and they've been some of the best we've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Including, which was very unusual for us, when we had the pop singer from London. Do you remember her?
Oh, yeah, Chloe Rose.
We interviewed Chloe. She had her new song had come out in London on a Friday, and we did her show on a Monday, and she was really spectacular. It was unusual for us. She was incredibly happy.
Oh, yeah.
Great weekend.
Delight. She was such a delight. I loved her. And then there was another one, Humphreys Hawksley. Humphreys. I just remember his first name, Humphreys. He was, to me, the most fascinating with like his journalism career, you know, with BBC and everything in terms of.
Oh, like, yeah, he really was. He'd been thrown out of like 3 countries because he was a reporter, which was, and he started off his life. He jumped on a ship. He went to Australia or something. It was crazy. This great, crazy story.
Yeah, he was fascinating. He, to me, so far this year, he's been my favorite. So many cool things, I would say, for that. But Russell, we are coming up on time, though. I know how you get with time. But you guys, the 12 Days of Patience, we have more Author Talk shorts coming up today, and I think tomorrow. I think that's it for this week. I think that's it. Amy's head is still, you know, up in the clouds. I don't know when it ever, you know, comes down. But that's what we have. So make sure you tune in to those. Hopefully, Fern will be feeling better next week. It is Thanksgiving next week, you guys. But until then, Russell, do you have any last minute questions, comments, or concerns for me?
No, except for you need to get well, because it inconveniences me when you have to cough and stuff.
It does. I'm so sorry that I've inconvenienced.
I forgive you for it.
Okay.
Please do better.
I can go about my day now for sure. But you guys, we hope that you all have a fantastic Monday. Stay warm if it is cold wherever you are. And we will catch you guys all for Author Talk shorts later today, but for a regular Author Talk next week. Until then, bye everyone.